Short little update on the EV Gen 1 Busa conversion. So I finished the wheel, stripped it down, sanded it, primed it, sanded it, primed it, sanded it, painted it. It was chrome, but it was chipped real bad, so unfortunately I had a sandblaster, but I sold it after my last project thinking I would never need it again. Silly me. Of course I did. So I just hand sanded it, got it all painted. It's not perfect, but much better than it was. So I got my calipers all mounted up, mocked up some brake lines, kind of seeing where they're going to go. Had to order some of those fittings, the brake line fittings. I still have to strip these off. Got to strip this off. Raise my shock or my forks up a little bit. I still don't know if that's going to be enough. These things are pretty chopped, so I'm sure my turning radius is going to be very limited, but we'll see once I get everything put together. See if I need to get stock shocks. We'll see how that goes. There's no gasket in here, so I'm gonna make a gasket. I'm not really sure how these are supposed to be, but when I take this off, it's just metal to metal. So I'm gonna make my own gasket, something to hold the brake fluid in there. Got this tank off eBay. It was a wreck tank. I know it's silly. Why would you need a fuel tank? Well, a couple reasons. The seat mounts to this, so you gotta have this bracket. I could have just welded that in, but for aesthetic purposes as well. And I was worried if I got just the tank cover that it would be very flimsy because it wouldn't have anything to hold on to. And what I'm also going to do is with this tank, they're pretty divoted in already, but I'm probably going to cut this out and my battery is going to go down here. And I did an ATV a while back and I made the charging port where you put fuel in the tank. So you just open the tank and the charging port's right there and you just hook it into it and that's how you charge it. One of my older videos, you could see that posted. But it was dented real bad here, so these were kind of pushed back. So I mildly hammered it a little bit and got it much better than it was. I mean, this thing was about 1.5 inches off. They were really knocked in there. So I'll take it back off and kind of hammer it a little bit more, pry it some, and should get it pretty close to what it needs to be. I did swap the rear end out. So this is the one that was on it when I got it. You can tell this guy had it set up for drag racing. I mean, it's stripped. Looks like he cut out half the entire back end of it here on the one that was on it. So I plan on trailing my wife and maybe some more folks. So I really appreciate that little extra stability there and strength. I ordered my motor. It's a QS. I was going to go with the 260 12 kilowatt hub motor, but I went with the 273, which is a little bit beefier. I can give it a little bit more power. Kind of did change some things. I went ahead and got a bigger battery, a bigger controller. So the motor itself, it's a QS 273 12 kilowatt 17x6, which is the stock Busa wheel. But the issue I ran into here is the dropout on the Busa, I think it was like 250 millimeters, and the hub motor I'm getting is 230. So a little bit shorter. So I'm going to weld these blocks in here. I'll CNC these out, make them sort of like this. I'm going to wait till I get the motor to actually make it perfect because the way these motors are built, the stem goes through. It's not removable, well, not easily without taking the motor apart. But they're not rounded on the ends. They're kind of notched out, so they have like a flat end on each side. So when you put them in there, they won't, you can't move them. And there's also a bracket kind of like this that I'll probably put a bolt through this to kind of hold it so it won't let it torque. But I ran some brake lines. He gave me this green bucket, was just full of parts and random stuff. I mean, half of it was non-usable, half of it was. But some of the brake lines I found were usable, some of the bolts. Like I said, he gave me this other rear end. And I put the seat mount on there. Obviously had no cable or anything to it. So I'm gonna have to make that. It's missing. There's one of the seat mounts. The other one's missing, so I'll just rob it off of this one here and weld it on there. But yeah, like I said, I ordered my battery. It's 116 amp hour, 96 volt nominal, so it's 104 volts fully charged. So the math I did at 102 volts, which is, after riding for a while, it won't be fully topped off. At 102 volts, if I'm giving this thing 800 line amps, which my controller and everything will go up to 900, it should be around 80,000 kilowatts. I'm sorry, 80 kilowatts. So converting that per chat GPT says I should be able to do with the weight distribution I have 0 to 60 in 1.9 to 2.3 seconds. I don't see that being realistic. A couple reasons why. One, traction. I don't think I'll be able to keep traction going that fast. 0 to 60. On this little one here, I'm only giving this 40 kilowatts, so about half the power I'll be giving the Busa. And I can do 0 to 60 on this one in 3 seconds. Issue I had with this one, I mean, it is a smaller wheel, not as wide. I couldn't keep traction. I could be going 10 miles an hour, laying at the throttle, and it would just start spinning. So it was just a lot of pulls, tuning, dialing it back from 0 to so many RPMs, only give it this much power so the wheel won't break traction. And I was able to get it to 0 to 60. I think it was like 3.1, not under 3, but really close to 3 seconds. And just to kind of size comparison, so that battery is 60 amp hour. The one on the Boost is going to be 116 amp hour. I haven't tested range out with this, but per my display, I think it says I can go, it's probably really close to fully charged right now. I want to say it was like 85 miles. And that's in like an eco mode. If I'm just, cruising around, I'm not just trying to do pulls every 5 seconds. But you can tell though, once you change the modes, okay, so that's like middle of the road, and then I have it in like a ludicrous mode, which is only 42 miles. And I mean, that's just taking off full torque every time I take off at a stoplight or stop sign. But if I'm just going on a trip, I mean, 85 miles, if I put an eco mode on this, 150 miles wouldn't be out of reality. 116 amp hour, that's a lot of battery. That being said, though, too, is this battery is going to weigh about just shy of 100 pounds. That being said, though, too, the Busa motor, I want to say it was like 3 to 4. It was really heavy. I mean, those motors were massive. So it's still going to shed a lot of weight. Even if that battery, like I said, it's about 98 pounds. They have to crate it here. Might not see an update for a while. The battery, it's 6 to 8 weeks because I have to have it custom built in China and they're going to ship it to me. It has to go by sea. They have to crate it. Has to be delivered on a crate, so it's going to be a minute. The motor, luckily, that should be like 3 to 4 weeks. So I can at least have the motor installed, all mocked up. I can get my brakes and everything done. The battery, I'm just going to have to weld in. I'm probably going to do, looks like there's a motor mount here that goes all the way through the frame to the other side. I'll be able to put a steel rod through there. I can weld some angle iron in, kind of like I did for the Z. Get that in there. I've been looking at different fairing kits in the meantime. I really want to find those stock Gen 1, the copper champagne colored fairings that pretty common on the Gen 1s, but I can't find them anywhere. I found some knockoffs that are like gold and silver, but I got plenty of time, so I'm going to keep looking, but I really would like to find those stock champagne colored fairings. If not, I'll get the knockoff ones. I mean, they work. I've used them in the past on different motorcycles, and some of them are a little flimsier than the OEM fairings, but do what you got to do. But yeah, I think it's just a waiting game at this point. I've ordered little things here and there. I've had to order foot pegs. I've ordered brake reservoirs, just little things, discs for the front. I got the wrong stem. The guy, like I said, when I got this, that green tote was just full of miscellaneous parts, and he had 2 rear stems in there. I think he meant to put, obviously, a front and a back, but I had to drive about 2.5 hours to get this, so not worth going back for a front stem. So I found one on eBay for, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks and just ordered it. So I can put the front wheel in there. At that point, I can kind of see how low I'm going to sit, get an idea of where it'll be. Like I said, these forks are so chopped. I mean, there's like 2 inches maybe between I don't know how that's going to go. I have a feeling I'll be swapping those as well. I don't plan on taking this to the drag strip. I don't plan on it, but we'll see what kind of power I get out of it. On these two, I'm not sure on these brake reservoirs. When I took this off, it looks like it's just metal to metal to the brake reservoir. I think I'm going to fabricate some kind of gasket. I don't see this not spilling. I mean, like I said, it's just metal to metal. So I'll probably fabricate some kind of gasket to put on there. But yeah, no, I think it's coming along. I think it's a good thing that some of this stuff's taking a while to get here, because I keep getting different ideas. I'll assume I'm going to do one thing, and then, oh, well, it'd be better if I did this, or kind of give me more time to look at it. Sometimes I'll just come out here and sit on a chair and just look at it and just kind of figure out what exactly I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. I have no doubt it'll work out. I've done, like I said, probably 5, 6 different motorcycle conversions. Nothing this big, nothing with this much power. But I mean, to each his own. I think it's all, I've done some that are, 3,000 watts, and I've done some that are like this little Z is probably the most powerful one I've done, believe it or not, smallest. I'm giving this probably 40 kilowatts. So here's my cafe racer I did. This is one of the first ones I converted. I did a mid motor, or a mid-drive motor instead of a hub. It's an 8 kilowatt motor. I'm giving it probably, I think, 20 kilowatts, 25 kilowatts. Not as big of a battery as far as power. Same voltage though, 72 volt for both of them. Just recently painted this one. It's like a Civic blue, and I put some pearl in it. I had a buddy paint it. I didn't actually paint it. I am not a painter. But yeah, I love this thing. I mean, I've put probably 1,000 miles on it since I've had it. I ride this one a lot. I can get probably 60 miles out of this one. Like you saw, 80. I haven't pushed this one yet, but I'm really thinking this one's going to be my bread and butter as far as the best of all worlds. Speed, distance, be heavier. Hopefully, I mean, as comfortable as a Gen 1 Busa can be. But we'll see. It's coming along. But like I said, if you can find those fairings, if you guys know anywhere, any links to where I can get the copper champagne colored fairings, let me know. And if you guys have any questions, I'm not the best at answering comments, but I do check back every so often. Just let me know, and I'll do the best I can. Thanks for watching.